What's up, lovers of whiskey and watchers of YouTube? I'm the Malt Activist, and thank you for being a part of my life. Yes, haha, here we are. And today we have not one but two magnificent whiskies that won't break the bank, are delicious. They fly really low under the radar like American stealth airplanes when out on a bombing mission. Okay, I just digressed completely and I shouldn't have. I'm of course talking about Loch Lomond. There you go. Not one, not two. Yes, I said not one, but two. We have the Loch Lomond 12, the Inchmoan, all right, which is their peated version, and we have the Loch Lomond 12, which is the Inchmurrin, which is their, there you go, which is their unpeated version. Okay, that's a long ass intro. Let's get on with it. A big fat welcome to our first time viewers. Thank you for clicking through. If you like whiskey stuff, whiskey trivia, whiskey news, whiskey reviews, whiskey vlogs, travel vlogs, rants, discussions, angry tirades from middle-aged men who think they know everything there is to know about whiskey, then this channel is the one for you. Please consider liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, or whatever it is. Whatever floats your boat, man. It's free of charge. To my returning subscribers, thank you so much. You're the reason I keep doing this. And finally, to my Patreon and my YouTube members, you guys are awesome, man. Without you, this channel would be absolutely nothing. Okay, let's get on with the whiskeys. So a few months ago, I did a list of, really good budget-friendly single malt whiskey that you can go out and buy today, and I selected the Loch Lomond 12 Inchmurrin as one of my top 5 or top 10, I don't remember, whiskies to contend. And I'm telling you, super awesome whiskey. But then lots of comments which I should have thought about, and I kind of didn't, and it's my fault entirely. There were lots of comments with people saying, dude, you idiot, what about the Inchmoan, the peated version? That's the one you should be talking about, you imbecile. And then after I got a lot of hate, I'm just kidding, it was just very well-intentioned people guiding me, which is the right thing. Anyway, so I was like, oh shit, yes, of course, that's the one I really should have been talking about. So here I am, armed with not one but two Loch Lomond whiskies. There you go. The focus pulling is shit. Our production quality is horrible. Anyway, yes. So the Inchmoan, known as the Smoke and Spice. This is the 12-year-old. And the Inchmurrin, which is known as the Fruity and Sweet. Of course it is. Just like my cousin, if you know what I mean. No, I'm just kidding. We have both these whiskeys in our hands. It's not a head-to-head really. It's just tasting both. And we'll talk a little bit about them. And hopefully, if you like what you see, maybe you will go out and buy it and share it with some friends and then tell them, hey man, the Malt Activist told me about this whiskeys and I'm indebted to him for life, as I am for so many things that he's told me in the last so many years. So, okay, let's go. So let's try the Inchmurrin first, the 12-year-old Loch Lomond Inchmurrin. Let's try that first. Here you go. Wow. Why is it so tight? There you go. That's what it looks like, and the reason I'm showing it to you is because it's natural color. The way we like our whiskeys are natural. Yes. Okay, so what do we know about Loch Lomond Distillery? We know a few things. It's a very young distillery, extremely young distillery, and I think the project or the work on it started somewhere in 1965, if I'm not mistaken. By one second. Okay, so I have my details here. So Loch Lomond Distillery was commissioned by the Little Mill Distilling Company in 1965, with first distillation in 1966. The distillery in 1984, the distillery closed or fell silent. I wish my wife would fall silent from time to time. Anyway, to use a traditional term, happily though, Alexander Bullock. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correct. I'm not Scottish, though I'd like to be, but if I'm pronouncing that name wrong, I'm really sorry. And the Glencairn Company acquired the business and resumed malt production in 1987. So it's been in production since 1987 and producing good stuff. Now I think it's the Loch Lomond Group, and they've bought a lot of different whiskies. If I'm not mistaken, they bought. This is why they say I should do my research. Anyway, the history is not that important. What's important is the fact that I have these whiskies on hand in front of me that we are going to taste today. All right? Okay, so the cool thing, what we don't know, or what many people don't know, and I will also just very recently found out after I did my research, is that Loch Lomond is one of the only distilleries in the world, or Scotland, at least in Scotland for sure, that has not just one, not two, but three different types of stills in their distillery. So there's three different types of stills at the distillery. One is the traditional pot still with the swan arm. Then you have the traditional coffee still, right, or a straight still used to make grain whiskey. And then you have this hybrid, which is a straight still, but it has these perforated plates in the middle that normal coffee stills or continuous stills don't have. This one does. And so what they can do is that they can produce a very light spirit with a lot of reflux, which means that a lot of light vapors go up, and you get a very fruity and a floral whiskey that comes out of Loch Lomond. So Loch Lomond, one of the only distilleries in Scotland that can actually create an entire blended whiskey under its roof, under one roof. It can make a proper blended whiskey, which is cool, which is kind of cool. So this whiskey that we have in our hands right now, what do we know about this? We know that this is bottled at 46% ABV, okay? This is a mix of three different barrels. Ex-bourbon, which I think is first filled, then you have refilled bourbon, and you have recharred American oak, okay? So good. And this is, of course, non-chill filtered, no coloring added, the way whiskey is meant to be. That's a near perfect nose. This is such a big fruit bomb. Exactly what you want from an easygoing yet somewhat complex whiskey. This is gorgeous stuff. No real wrong notes. No real wrong notes. Okay, what do we get? We get toffee apples, we get pears, we get peach, we get apricot, we get vanilla, and we get hints of caramel. Quintessentially bourbon. Quintessentially ex-bourbon, pristine casks, kept in pristine conditions, filled with pristine spirit, and then managed in the most skillful and artful manner, and bottled and brought it out for us to try and taste and imbibe and be happy with. Yeah, man. Few whiskeys make you feel this good when you just nose them. Very, very close to being perfect. Planes flying overhead. I don't even live near. Oh, it's a helicopter. Probably war games. Please don't be circling. Anyway, I hope you don't hear that. Like I said, I like this nose. It's a very quintessentially ex-bourbon nose. There's no wrong notes here. I really, really like it. I really hope you do too. Okay, chin chin. Wow. Ooh. I like this mouthfeel. It's very, very oily. it has peach, it has apricot, it has banana, it has dried apple, it has some cinnamon and oak right at the end. Whoa, very, very, very tropical fruit driven, very orchard fruit driven with the apricots and the peaches, you know, stone fruits, lots of stone fruits in here. And you get stone fruits, I've realized you get good stone fruits in a whiskey when the barrels are just pristine, beautiful barrels. So this is good cask selection. This is just everything good about whiskey making, just, you know, put into a bottle, and now you and I are tasting it, and you know, the proof is in the pudding. You know what I'm saying? Or the fruit is in the whiskey. The fruit is in the whiskey, man. Dude. That's what I'm talking about. I just wish the mouthfeel was slightly fuller, but it's not. I just wish it was. I think that's the only drawback to this whiskey that I can think of, but that is just me being my usual pedantic self, and I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to be pedantic. I want to like things. Okay, so forget what I just said. Forget what I said about the mouthfeel. It's a good mouthfeel. Nah, it's okay. I wish it was a little more robust, but it's okay. It's okay. However, flavor profiles, aromas, finish, overall general quality of this whiskey, superb. And the best part. Okay, wait. I'll tell you the best part about this whiskey at the end of the video. Okay? Alright, cool. So, we like this whiskey. We really, really like it. I want to give this a very above average 7.5 B+. Yes. I think those are good marks for a good whiskey, and it deserves it. Which brings us to whiskey number 2. I'm talking about the Loch Lomond 12. Please focus. Loch Lomond 12, the Inchmoan, also known as the Smoke and Spice. Okay, again, we pour in front of you. We show you the color. You know why we do that? Because this whiskey is also non-chill filtered and has natural color. Well done, Loch Lomond. Woo! Everything good about that whiskey? Now with peat. So, what do we know about this? Also, bottled at 46% ABV, peated to about roughly 50 ppm, 50 parts per million. Also 3 barrels, first fill bourbon or ex-bourbon they call it, refill bourbon or second fill I think, and then recharred American oak. Also using spirit from 3 different stills. So from the traditional pot still, then the straight still, and then the Loch Lomond still, which is the hybrid still. So spirit from all 3, put in these 3 barrels, and then mixed together after 12 years, put in a bottle, watered down to 46%. Watered down to 46%, put in a bottle, sealed, signed and delivered to the malt activists so that we could try it on this channel. And also, oh, by the way, I found out some dates. Both of these whiskeys bottled on the 24th of June 2020. So these are pandemic babies. These were bottled right in the heart of the pandemic. So yes, I did sterilize them, and I'm just kidding. I did sterilize them, and now we have them in our hand. They were bottled just when the pandemic hit, a few months into that. So yeah, pandemic babies. Ooh, what do we get on the nose? We have very dry peat, vanilla, oak, butterscotch, salted caramel, and baked apples. Once again, quintessentially pristine ex-bourbon barrels, but now with this added layer of peat on top of it. Again, no wrong notes. Smelling nice and fruity, but this time a little more earthy. The Inchmurrin more like a fruit bomb. But this one, fruits and sweets subdued and sort of interlaced and intermingled with an earthy peat, if you like. I like this nose. Are we going to like the palate? I don't know. I know we are. We've already drunk it. We've been drinking this. Chin chin. Woo! Wow. Quite spicy in the beginning. Very black pepper, spicy. Very, very prominent peat. Not much smoke, but very prominent peat on this. But I also get some brown sugar, 5 spice, smoky honey, toffee, and some vanillas. So when I say smoky honey, I don't know, that's the first thing that came to my mind. But definitely honey, definitely some kind of brown honey, sort of darkish brown honey. I don't really get any massive smoke in this, but I do get the peat. The peatiness on my palate is unmistakable. Normally, I'll get like a peat and smoke burst in my mouth. This is just peat, no smoke, or very little smoke. Interesting. Yes, again, very good. Pretty much what the Inchmurrin had in terms of its principal characters, now just interlayered with this peatiness. However, I will say that I think I prefer the Inchmurrin over the Inchmoan. Even though they're both good whiskies, if I'm going to pick one, I'm just going to pick the Inchmurrin. I think it was more of an honest whiskey. I think it was more a natural progression for the spirit to take, if you know what I mean. And I think it was more suited to these kind of flavors versus the smoke and peat that is in the Inchmoan. So, but again, not by a lot. I'm going to give this a very respectable 7B. 7B to the Inchmoan, and the Inchmurrin is a nice healthy 7.5B plus. So look, both whiskeys I think above average, worth getting your hands on, and yes, I like it a lot, man. I like them both a lot. And now finally, I said I'll tell you what is the best thing about this whiskey right at the end of the video. And the best thing, the absolute best thing about these whiskeys is that they're available to you for just 47 pounds, which I think is a steal for a 12-year-old, 46% ABV, non-chill filtered, natural color whiskey. It's an entry-level whiskey which is very accomplished, complex in its own right, delivers on the flavor profiles, great aromas, easily accessible, nice bottling, I think. I like the packaging, that's quite cool. There is a certain novelty to it, it comes from 3 different types of stills. Who's doing that? Nobody, it comes from 3 different types of stills. It's just, put together wonderfully. And so, there's really nothing bad I can say about Loch Lomond. And especially about these 2 drabs that we just had. I really can't say anything bad about them. And I think you should get your hands on them. If you haven't, you really should get your hands on these 2. They're, easy on the pocket. They're lovely on the palate. And, like I said, I've been enjoying these. I have been really, really, really enjoying these. That means something. That means that I've been drinking this. And there's a reason for me drinking it. It's because I like it. Okay. I'm the Malt Activist. Until next time. Peace.